tamu sana, yes, tamu sana. Yesterday, I did receive some requests from you, my fans, in this YouTube channel to at least talk about Sylvanus Osoro, the South Mugirango Member of Parliament, the one who recently fought with Simba Arati in Kisii during the burial ceremony of the father of Kisii Deputy Governor, Mangi. Yes, you can see the photos there. That's Sylvanus Osoro chewing sugarcane. And you can see a group of people there. Some are just looking at him, not even chewing sugarcane. And also you can see a photo there again. Osoro helping a group of people to build a mud-walled house. A mud-walled house, yes. That's Sylvanus Osoro. Yes, that's Sylvanus Osoro. So what was the motive of Sylvanus Osoro taking photos, chewing sugarcane, and also helping a group of people in building a mud-walled house? What was the political objective of all this? Yes, Kenyans, it's just about 1 year to the next general election. And from what we have witnessed in the past elections, in each and every election cycle, 80% of members of parliament are always sent home. Kenyans always send them packing because they never deliver as they promised when they were campaigning. So Osoro being a member of parliament and most likely being among somebody or being among the group most likely who might be sent home next year, Osoro is getting desperate because now the reality of now facing the electorates again is now approaching. So Osoro, being a member of parliament who is facing election in the next 1 year, might be feeling desperate. So he might be using all possible tactics to be seen to be closer to the people. He might be using a tactic that can endear him to the people, or rather to the constituents. And that chewing sugarcane and also joining them in building a mud-walled house is just one way of Osoro achieving that. And Osoro is a learned politician. Osoro, from the information we've gathered, is that he is a lawyer by profession, from the information we've gathered. So Osoro pretty well knows that politics is the gentle art of getting votes from the people, or rather from the poor people, and funds from the rich, promising to protect each other from another. Yes, Osoro knows that pretty well, that politics is the humble art of getting votes from the poor and funds from the rich. So Osoro here is just trying to get votes from the poor masses as he waits for the funds from the rich. That's what exactly is happening here. So in this video right now, I want us to look at some of the reasons that Osoro wanted to achieve by this, or what this photo shows. Number one, it shows that Osoro has not delivered in his South Mugirango constituency. In the past 4 years, he has been their MP. So he's desperate to be seen to be closer to the people. And he knows pretty well that with 1 year remaining, he can do some antics to hoodwink the naive masses into just voting for him. He knows that pretty well. He has not delivered to his constituents of South Mugirango. Number two, Osoro subscribes to the hustler narrative. And you know, a child will only imitate the mother or the father. And Osoro's master, who happens to be William Ruto, is a good example of such kind of antics. On several occasions, we have been seeing William Ruto having a good meal of mahindi by the roadside, sometimes entering into some kibandas and maybe having tea, Not that they love the masses or the people or the poor masses, but simply they are just trying to use those antics to endear themselves to the people or to be seen to be closer to the people. But the truth remains that those are just antics to try and get votes from the masses. After getting those votes, they just become the politicians we know them to be. So Osoro subscribed to this hustler narrative and is just trying to copy what his master has been doing. And it's not only Osoro. We also have some members of parliament from Western, one notorious one being Didmas Baraza, who is fond of such antics. But whether that will really yield them votes or not, it's only time that will tell. We only have about 1 year to the next general election. Only time will tell. And then thirdly, Osoro lacks proper ideas and skills on how to empower his constituents. How chewing a sugarcane does not empower the constituents at all. That just leaves them wondering. And in fact, from the photos, you can see them, they are looking at Osoro wondering. And also joining them in building a mud-walled house does not also empower them in any way. People are moving away from mud-built houses to maybe brick or even stone-walled houses. As a leader and as their member of parliament, what Sylvanus Osoro ought to have done was to maybe organize this naive group of people into some kind of a circle or to some kind of groups, and then he funds them to start something like stone, or rather to start something like brick making. You know, if he organized them into brick making, then this group of people might really actually be empowered economically. They might have something to take back home. Or even on that specific day, instead of himself entering into the mud for photos, he ought to have paid those people. He ought to have paid them handsomely well so that they can do that job. And then maybe on that day, those people might have just gotten something to take home on that day. Because from the photos there, the people, some of them, they are not even really doing the job. They are just there. Some of them are just smiling. So you ought to have paid them, and then they could have just done that job. And then at the end of the day, they could have gotten something to take to their families. Not Osoro himself appearing to be doing that. That's not a leader. A leader, you should empower the people. A leader, you should know on how to delegate duties. I know this one was just purely for photo session anyway. And then finally, you know, these photos, or rather this act by Sylvanus Osoro, just shows the kind of naive electorates we have in Kenya. You know, Kenyans are very naive when it comes to matters politics and what a leader or a politician is meant to do. A leader's role is to make sure he formulates good policies that can empower his people. That's what a leader is meant to do. A leader, you should not be seen to be somehow lamenting with the people. In fact, what Osoro was doing was just trying to laugh at those people. He was just trying to tell them that you should be chewing sugarcane and you should be continue building mud houses. That's not a leader. That's not really empowering. So I strongly believe that Osoro is one person who believes that the masses are so naive and so foolish just to be cheated anyhow. So it's only remaining about 1 year to the election. And the people of South Mugirango, I know a good percentage of them. I have so many friends who come from that area. It's only remaining about 1 year. So whether this antics by Sylvanus Osoro will translate into real votes or not, it's only time that will tell. Ours is just to wait, watch, and see. It's only time that will tell. And just as I did mention when we were starting, or maybe If you have just bumped on this YouTube channel and you have not yet subscribed, tap on the subscription button and also kindly give this video a like. Give it a like, please. Give it a like. Thank you. To our esteemed fans and subscribers in this YouTube channel, I thank you a lot for we are doing a good job. Let's continue on that tempo. May God also bless you. Have a blessed day. Tamu sana, tamu sana.